got 4 gears left.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to episode 12 of the E36 drift build. This is finally a fun one, because not only will we be doing some work, but actually there is a track day planned up tomorrow, and we're participating with this car. That just feels unreal. Now, there's plenty of stuff I have to do, so this episode may seem a little bit rushed, but hey, that's just the situation we're in. It was a very, very quick decision, to hit the track tomorrow. I wasn't planning this for a long time, and there is some stuff we have to get done. First up, we have installed the Coilovers up front, which is great and all, but as you can see, they don't have any dust boots, and I really don't want to ruin these coils because I've got big hopes for them. So they need some protection, and instead of spending cash to buy coilover covers, we're actually making our own. For that, I've picked up a sheet of neoprene. That's what hydro suits are made out of, essentially. I've also made this, which is the size I'll need for each of these shocks, and I've got some Velcro strips to sew onto the material to make sure it holds on to the strut. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. So essentially, cutting 2 bits out like this, sewing some Velcro onto them, and then hoping that it's going to work. So I suppose we'll be rolling a quick little time lapse right now. Dare I say that we are actually done. This took only about 20 minutes, and in my head it seems like this should work. We've got zip ties, they're coming out to the right sides, so now nothing much more left but to try to actually fit them onto the car and see how it looks. Drum roll please, we're back in the garage. And I'd say this has been a success. Now, the zip tie part of this whole thing may be done better, as there are some sorts of loose spots. I still don't see any dirt getting into them. Looks interesting, I like it, but it fits nicely. It is slightly stretched, but it certainly can still move. There's plenty of material left, and I am very, very satisfied with the result. So now I'll throw the other one onto the car, and I'm pretty sure that's the front done. Alright, so here we are at the back of the car. I wanted to roll my arches, look at how nasty they look, but then I decided while I'm here I may as well replace the springs, since I'm pretty sure I've got 12K springs on the front coilovers. These lowered ones are probably like 5K, something along the lines. So instead of those, I'll be running these 8K springs in the back for max speeding rods. Out with the old, in with the new. Now, this max speeding rod spring is quite a bit stiffer, but given that I'll be running absolute balloons on the thing, I will put the adjusters in. I'll turn them to their lowest setting, but they should still give me about 1, maybe 1.5 centimeters of ride height, which hopefully will be enough. So the new springs are in. That's how I set up the adjustment ring on its lowest setting. Remove this thingy, won't need it. Seems to be alright. I've also got my fender roller on, so I'll give the arches a quick little roll. Nothing too crazy yet, even though I'm pretty sure I'll have to roll them further to fit these bad boys. But yeah, a quick roll on this side, then repeat the process on the other side, and suspension-wise, I'd say we're done. We're done for the night. So let's go over everything I've done. took out the trunk parts of the interior trim, installed the rear strut brace, changed out these springs. The car now sits really high, but that's alright. Tried to roll the fenders. Sort of rolled the fenders. They ain't looking very pretty, but they're rolled and they won't be scraping with the tires, so that is good. The front strut brace is also on, and I made the coilover covers, which you won't be able to see, but I assure you they're there. So now the battery's charging. I'll charge the GoPros, charge the main camera, and then get a couple of hours of sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Hey, good morning. We have arrived at racetrack 333, where today there is a track day happening, and I have brought the E36 with me. Now, it's not quite ready, but I really wanted to hit the track, and today we're going to attempt to do it.
Burn 'em, burn 'em. How much money I be making, I'ma burn 'em. Burn 'em, I'ma murk 'em. And if they playing with this fire, I'ma burn 'em. Murder, it's a murder. Disrespect us, I'ma spark it, I'ma burn 'em. And I'll be searching, I'll be lurking, I'ma hurt 'em. And all these bridges that I'm building, I'ma burn 'em. Burn 'em, burn 'em. How much money I be making, I'ma burn 'em. I'ma serve 'em, spinning on a block with a mop, I disturb 'em. I never killed a nigga, but I'm ready to spit a hollow right on a person. And the curse, I'm about to merge on a nigga's turf. I'ma let a nigga burn, burn, let him burn. And these pussies better learn when I pull up on my birds, make a nigga see stars spinning.
Alright, so we've done the first 3 laps on the track. It is super slippery. This car immediately tells you that it's not meant for driving fast, it's meant for driving sideways, and honestly, it really feels super planted, even with an open diff, even with no hydro. I'd say I'll be able to link the whole track. This is not a drift practice, but we can go fast. The tires are just not ready for wet pavement here. So we're going sideways, and I'm loving it. And the car right now seems to be perfectly fine. So join us for the wild ride, I guess. This is amazing. Okay, we're heating up, we're heating up, we're heating up. So we have encountered our first issue. After 3 hot laps on the track, I saw the temperature starting to rise. Then I popped the hood, and we've got a little bit of excess coolant. Nothing too major, I hope, but that's definitely something I'll have to do in the next episode, as there is absolutely no way the cooling system in its current state is going to get through a drift practice or, God forbid, a competition. So next episode, cooling system. It's starting to get expensive. Welcome to drifting. All right, so I suppose that's gonna be it for the day. Probably. It does look like the water pump died. For a split second there, I was thinking head gasket. Please don't be a head gasket. But when you remove the radiator cap, there's no flow, which is a dead giveaway that there's something wrong with the flow. Therefore, water pump. If it is only water pump and nothing else, I am super pleased, and today was well worth it. Things I learned. The suspension setup on the car right now, absolutely amazing. Grip driving with an open diff in the wet on a very, very, very slippery track. It's not meant for that, but the car feels great when going sideways. It's super planted, even without, I haven't done an alignment to the car, and even without an alignment, the steering wheel turns back by itself, so super, super, super stoked. Just nervous out of my mind, hoping that it is only water pump and nothing else. It is something I would have changed anyways. It's a shame it ruined the track day, but it does appear that there is going to be a different car finishing the last hour and a half of the track day. My friend from MMM Garage is bringing his E36 2.8 turbo compact to get some laps in. And by checking the times on the timing gap, right now I actually do have the third fastest time of the group, which doesn't make any sense. Two cars dead, and the track day is not even over yet, so we need the third car then. I'm getting towed first. I broke first. Bye bye gearbox. Bye bye.
It's the second gear.
It's anyways dead. It's dead. Man, I'm happy and nervous and sad and angry at the same time, but this just goes to show that the car does not love me, and this is yet another case where it's really, really important that you start your journey with your drift car with a good maintenance. Yeah, a water pump is something that needs to be replaced from time to time, and I do not have the slightest clue at how long this one has been in the car. So yeah, that's gonna be a part of the next episode. I appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel. We are closing in on the 1000 subscriber landmark, which is super exciting. There are big things ahead. Hopefully we won't have to remove the head gasket of this thing, because if we do, that's a big cut in the budget. But it is, whatever has to be done is gonna get done. This thing ain't gonna die on me, and we are competing in the Latvian Drifting Championship this year. No matter the obstacles, I ain't giving up. So thank you for following along. It's a shame this episode ended up being not as fun as I wanted it to be, but that's just what happens sometimes. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.